Thank you, Father, for that very generous introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Maayong hapon sa atong tanan. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this great honor of being invited to participate in this praiseworthy gathering of like-minded souls of philanthropy and service to humanity. And I'd like to make special mention, Dr. Glenda, for engaging me and for making me a part of this event. Allow me to give my sincerest congratulations to the conference organizers of this 8th Spring Rain Asian Philanthropic Development Conference, a conference that brings together people, development organizations, nonprofit organizations, faith-based organizations, donors, philanthropists, the academe, and other organizations for these 3 days of insightful, impactful discussions on the theme, Nurturing Transformative Change in Philanthropy, at this very, very beautiful hotel in Amari, Watergate, Bangkok, Thailand. I am deeply honored to address and share with you today on the profound topic of creating a legacy of generosity, planning for long-term giving and impact. A theme that perfectly aligns with our broader goal of nurturing transformative change in philanthropy. Philanthropy at its core is about more than just giving. It's about making a lasting difference. The generosity we exhibit today has the power to shape the future for the generations to come. But how do we ensure what our contributions create a legacy that endures and continually foster positive change beyond our lifetime? First, we must understand that creating a legacy of generosity requires thoughtful planning. It's not enough to make sporadic donations. We need to develop a strategic approach to our giving. This means identifying causes that resonate deeply with our values and aspirations and committing to them in a sustained manner. By focusing our efforts and resources, we can drive more significant and lasting impact. I am honored to be part of an international organization and non-government organization in my home country, Philippines, just like some of our speakers earlier, Governor Jong, also, who really was a very good speaker, and Governor Philip later on, after me, over there. He'll be talking later on. And this is the organization where we belong, the Rotary International. And I'm also an active past president of the Inner Wheel Club of the Philippines. And I'm also a very active member of the Zonta International. And we serve our community by doing an assessment that we will use through planning to provide a sustainable program for their development. Like a goose that continues to lay the golden eggs, and where the goose lives on forever sustainably. We all have bright ideas everywhere. As you can hear, in the past few days, we all heard a lot of advocacies and programs, and all projects worthwhile to support from donors, sponsors, and benefactors. In philanthropy, we can't undermine the probability of donors' priorities not aligned with the projects presented. That is why they are not giving. Among other reasons, maybe depletion of resources because their companies are not doing well, or some other unusual situations that they are experiencing, and thus affects the completion of a certain project. Hence, it is in my inspiration that we philanthropists and organizers of charity events must approach our gift-giving and charitable endeavors as we would as a social entrepreneur. Create a business model to ensure sustainability. We also align our programs in the Sustainable Development Goals that we will contribute to the success of every society or every community that we are serving. It is a huge task, I must say, but nothing is impossible with God's guidance and abundant blessings, and with us, everyone working together in this room. With 150 people, I am sure we will do it. We can make it together. In Rotary, we say, we contribute our time, talent, and treasures. These are what we share being a philanthropist. One of the many effective ways to plan for long-term giving is through establishing endowments and foundations. And foundations had been mentioned earlier, but with my contribution or part of what I do is establishing endowments, not only for Rotary, because endowments give us an income that would sustain, that would provide money for the projects, as well as another organizations that had been a part of, like Physicians for Peace. We also establish endowment fund so that we can sustain and provide projects from the income of the endowment that we have invested. These vehicles allow us to set aside funds that generate income which can be distributed and sustain project over many years, ensuring that our support of project continues well beyond our lifetime. This structured approach not only provides a steady stream of resources to our chosen causes, but also encourages accountability, transparency, stewardship on those funds that are utilized, and make sure they are utilized well. Donations are also the lifeblood of every organization. We cannot move without having funds. Just like a car without gasoline or fuel, it doesn't move at all. For them to utilize it for crafting a great development program. Being a proud member of a foundation, which me and my husband established, and I'm now thinking of aligning it with what I had been hearing today. I'm so inspired. I hope Dr. Glenda will help me with aligning our foundations and our cooperatives in this program. Thank you. And we believe, my husband and I, we believe that no one has ever become poor by giving. And that we are just a bridge to become the channel of blessings to others, so that religiously we can donate, especially maraming priest here, we can donate to our and sisters also, to our preferred foundation and other organizations. And we are happy that our contributions grow and being utilized not only locally, but of course, around the world. Moreover, we must, we're going global. We believe in that because God is with us. Amen? Moreover, we must embrace the concept of transformative philanthropy. This involves looking beyond immediate needs and seeking to address the root causes of our issues that we care about. By investing in education, healthcare, and sustainable development, for instance, we can create systemic change that empowers communities and foster self-reliance. Transformative philanthropy requires patience, and not only patience, but sometimes tears and blood, and a long-term vision that the rewards later on will be immeasurable. It is when we give, please allow me to quote Khalil Gibran. He said that it is when we give of yourself that you truly give. Aside from giving, we use our vocation, our profession, and even our skills, which is another form of giving for everyone. When our projects hit the human strings of compassion, love follows into the equation of why people get engaged into the project. Not only engaged, but sometimes they're addicted to donate and do the project. Addiction is not always negative. It gives an inspiration to our other individuals to become a philanthropist someday. And it's not wrong to dream. It's always good to be the giver than the receiver. Because service is a true expression of generosity. And you cannot love without giving, and you cannot also give without loving. Another crucial aspect of creating a legacy of generosity is fostering a culture of giving within our communities and families. Building a community of committed. It's nice to have a community, not in a bubble, but a community of people who are passionate and happy givers. By involving our children and young people in philanthropic activities, we instill the values of empathy, compassion, and social responsibility. This is one of our common topic in our meal conversations with my children, just to share. And we also encourage them to dream. Dream big, because when you're successful, you can also share the blessings to others who really need the help the most. This not only ensures the continuity of our philanthropic efforts, but also inspires the next generation to carry forward the torch of generosity. Two heads are better than one. Thus, collaboration is a key to maximizing the impact of giving. We had been talking about this in the past few days, and I also believe in that. By partnering with other philanthropists, non-profit organizations, even companies, they set up funds for their own CSR, so why can't we tap on it? And the community organizations, we can pool resources, share knowledge, and amplify our efforts. Collective action often leads to innovative solutions and greater efficiency, making it possible to tackle complex social challenges more effectively. That's our scholars. I had been engaged with scholarship for the past 16 years, and we have more than 1,000 scholars now. Finally, we must measure and reflect on the outcomes of philanthropic endeavors. Regularly assessing the impact of our contributions, measure its effects, help us understand what works and what doesn't work, allow us to refine our strategies, realign our strategies to ensure that our giving remains aligned with our goals. This process of continuous improvement is vital to creating a legacy that truly stands to the test of time. In conclusion, creating a legacy of generosity is about more than just financial contributions. It's about making a lasting commitment to nurturing transformative change, one life at a time, one community at a time, one family at a time. Who knows, we can transform our nation together. It requires thoughtful planning, strategic investments, and a deep-seated belief in the power of collective action. By fostering a culture of giving and continually evaluating our impact, we can ensure that our generosity today paves the way for a brighter, more equitable future for a better tomorrow. In closing, let me quote this one. A wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. That's according to Lao Tzu. So I hope this talk imparted a bit of inspiration to all of us today, as you, each and every one of you, are all my inspiration. Starting today, idol na ako sa inyo. You are all my models. And I learned a lot today and yesterday. With this, please allow me to show this video, an inspiring video about generosity.
In life, there's only one way for you to really truly have your labor be fulfilling. You have to align with what's most important to you, what you really believe in, what's meaningful for you. That if you settle for something less than that, while you might have to do it because you have to pay your bills, you can't ever give up pursuing what's going to make you feel most alive. Because ultimately, I really believe probably the most sacred thing in our lives that we can give another human being besides our love is our labor.
How can you be happy? What about helping the guy next to you? What are the 5 steps that you can do to help the person next to you lose some weight? What are the 7 steps that you can follow to help the person next to you find the job that they want? Do you know how we get fulfillment? You can be happy because you did things at work. You can be proud because you did things at work. You can be excited because you had a big success at work. But you know how you feel fulfilled at work? When you do something for someone else. It's the only way we get that feeling. It's the only way we get that feeling. Do you know why the statistics say that over 90% of people don't feel fulfilled by the work they do? It's not because of the job, it's not because of the pay, it's not because of the benefits. It's because we don't help each other anymore. We sit in our cubes and we work. And anything that we turn to anybody is because we need something, we need to get something. And yet we don't put ourselves out there simply for no other reason than to help somebody else. Do you know what generosity is? Generosity is doing something for someone else expecting nothing in return. At no point ever.
See, to be honest, what our problem can be, I'm not saying it is with everybody in here, but what our problem can be, and it certainly was with me for a long time, we are so focused on what we want and what we need and what we don't have and what people aren't doing for us. And here's the thing, that doesn't increase your peace, it doesn't increase your joy, and it doesn't cause God to bless you. But I'll tell you what does cause him to bless you, when right in the midst of even your own deal that you're going through, if you say, God, You know this is hurting and it's hard for me, and I've prayed about it, and I believe you're working on the situation. But while I'm waiting for you to give me a breakthrough, show me somebody else that I can be a blessing to.
This is what people just can't get today. So much about getting the numbers, but it's not about finding fulfillment as well.
But as long as we're only focused on ourselves, we'll get stuck. God brings people and opportunities across our path so we can be a blessing. When you take time to serve, you bring that elderly neighbor food each week. You clean up at the office even though you didn't make the mess. You mentor that young man that doesn't have a father. That's what allows God to take you higher. When you serve others, a new level of favor is released. We think we have to work our way to the top. The truth is, you can serve your way to the top. Something powerful happens when you get your mind off yourself and you go out and do good for somebody else. Are you serving anyone besides you? Are you doing something for others outside of what your job requires? When you focus not just on accomplishing your dreams, but on being a blessing, on serving others, then you're going to have more joy, live more fulfilled. And the reason some people are not happy is all they think about is themselves. My dreams, my goals, my problems, my family. I say this respectfully, you need to take a break from you. It's not healthy to have you on your mind all the time. Take a break from what's bothering you. Take a break from what you want, from what you're believing for, and go be good to somebody else. When you serve others, that's a seed you're sowing. God will make sure people are good to you. But if you're not getting any good breaks, you need to ask yourself, am I giving any good breaks? Am I showing people favor? Am I just doing what's required, or am I going the extra mile and serving?
To me, what really matters is service. I want to serve people. I want to help people. I want to try and make a difference, not that I can, by sharing what I've learned, try and make a little tiny difference in the lives of people. Because people are just going through so much. They're going through hell in their lives. So much suffering, so much pain, so much agony, so much anguish. And we could be agents of change. We could be instruments of change, to be able to bring a smile on somebody's face, to be able to help them find their purpose, to be able to help them find their space of peace and calm.
Thank you so much, and hopefully from now on, any one of you or one of you here will be part of my next journey. Thank you.